Underway here, Charles Barkley with a steal as the Pistons won the tap, and Philadelphia takes a quick 2-0 lead. Charles Barkley, one of the reasons this ball club under Jim Lynam running more than maybe they ever have. So look for the Pistons to try to somehow keep the Philadelphia fast break in tow. Adrian Dantley. He was fouled on the drive. He'll go to the line. AD has led the Pistons in scoring in the first 2 games against the Bulls and the Hornets, shooting 67% from the floor. Watch it.
AD gets the ball outside. The first inclination is for him to take it to the hole. You have to decide defensively how you want to play AD. Do you want to make him make that outside shot first before you go out on him, or do you want to take a chance by going out on him early and having him put the ball on the floor and go around you?
So Dantley's 3-point play makes it 3-2. Just underway at the Robinson puts Philadelphia back in front. Isaiah's pass knocked away by the 6'9" forward. Robinson's a guy who's always had great talent and has had some pretty good numbers in his career, but yet doesn't get notoriety.
No, he seems to get hurt a little too often for a player to truly be great. And that's one reason that Philly is very tough. Especially a early part of the year. He's hurt. Joe Dumars with his first 2. 5-4 Detroit. That's Hawkins, number 33, the first-round draft pick for Bradley. Jaminski too strong. Dumars with a long rebound. He'll key the break himself. Takes it all the way at Jaminski and scores. Excellent play by Dumars. Many times you see Joe sort of pull up on that play, wait for reinforcements. This year more than ever, I think he's been more aggressive on the break.
Sixers were a little lax that time. I don't think they expected Dumars to go coast to coast. Once he saw Jaminski in front of him, he says, I've got to take it to the hole.
One of the key games tonight down low will be Mahorn on Barkley. Strength against strength.
Hawkins way off. Air ball. Lambert couldn't even handle the rebound, but stayed after it. And what do we got here? Lee Jones spotting some contact between Barkley and Mahorn. Might have a double foul here.
Double foul has been called.
That's exactly what it is.
One on the 76ers, Charles Barkley.
Don't see it called very often, but a foul each on Barkley and Mahorn. And I'm sure Lee Jones wants to keep the physical nature of those two fellas intact. We're in Chuck.
Well, you have 2 players that want to establish themselves early, particularly Barkley. He likes to let you know with a forearm or an elbow early in the game that he's coming at you. You can't back down. If you do, he's won in the first quarter.
Hawkins a pretty good defensive player, even though he has the reputation of being a great scorer. Robinson with some hustle couldn't save it. Still Detroit basketball. Pistons with 12 seconds to shoot. Our officials tonight, Lee Jones, Bruce Alexander, and the rookie Nolan Fine. Dantley clearing out against Robinson. Gives up 4 inches in that matchup. Isaiah thought about the long 2. Leaves from a horn for a beautiful feed.
Starts with a double team on Dantley. We talked about that in the open. If Philly has to play 2 on him, someone will be open. Isaiah found him that time.
Horn has had 2 games of double-doubles. Barkley was fouled underneath. It is Lambert.
That time Pistons fronted Charles Barkley. They have been playing behind him as a rule. He fronted Barkley with Mahorn. They lobbed over him, and that forced the foul on Lambert.
Well, this building, as you probably know, had been a house of horrors for the Pistons during the decade of the late 70s and early 80s. Pistons went 9 years without a win here, went like 21 straight games with a defeat. And then finally turned it around, and in fact now have won the last 5 trips in here over the last 2 seasons.
And Benny Johnson, as you mentioned, has been one of the keys to those games. Pistons seem to play this team even up in the first quarter. When Chuck goes to the bench, Benny just sort of accelerated the game.
Well, I don't know if it was typical pregame talk of Charles Barkley buttering up the opponent, but he was quoted in the Philadelphia paper yesterday as saying he thinks the Pistons are the best team in the NBA. Barkley splits the pair. Boston came in here Saturday and was scorched by this club. Dantley stops and pops. A little bit too firm. Rebound the cheeks. Here comes the Philadelphia run. Watch out, Barkley. Stolen away by Isaiah. What a great play. Out of bounds still to Philadelphia. But Barkley had his sights set on a dunk. Watch this.
Watch Lambert get position on him to draw the charge, perhaps.
That takes a little courage, but you see Isaiah coming over with the right hand, knocking the ball away.
And did not commit the foul. That may be more amazing than the knockaway. Barkley didn't get the roll. Long rebound to Barkley. Took it away from Cheeks. Passed up a shot. Robinson does not. And hits it. Cliff Robinson with a pair of field goals. 9-7 the Detroit lead. Two-man game, Dumars and Lambier. Joey Arches hits again.
Two-man game more effective this year than in the past, at least in the early going, because Dumars is hitting the jumper with more regularity even than last.
Joey said he shot about 600 jump shots a day during the offseason. Jaminski down low, no. Good defense there. Lambier kicked out the rebound. 3-on-3 run. Isaiah glides in. Missed the shot. Dumars to follow, and it's stripped. Isaiah saved it to Dantley for 2.
What a great pass. A no-looker over the left shoulder by Thomas. Knew where everybody was on the floor. Watch again, Barkley and Mahorn.
Got away from Ricky. Lambier with a help out for Barkley with the easy left-hander. He has 5 points. It's a 13-9 ball game.
Ricky behind him sometimes, playing him half up sometimes, in front of him sometimes. Barkley taking advantage and pushing Mahorn out of the way.
Now, you can't possibly play a one-on-one. It's got to be a team defense. In the past, the Pistons have sent as many as 4 guys at him. Dantley in the drive. Right around Robinson. Barkley a little late arriving. And AD off to a quick 7-point start here. And this game is not even 4 minutes old. Back home tomorrow night for the Atlanta Hawks, then Friday to Boston. Cheeks in a blur to the hole. Still has the speed.
Oh, yeah.
His first field goal, 15-11.
Came into the league as the quickest player probably in the NBA. He may have lost half a step, but that just leaves him almost mortal.
A second-round draft pick a long time ago, 11 years ago to be exact. Dumars finally missed one. And we got a loose ball foul on Rick Mahorn. That will be his second foul. And Chuck Daly has to take him off the floor.
That's a big play. The one guy that the Pistons wanted to stay out of foul trouble was Mahorn, because he is maybe the only Piston that has the bulk to battle with Barkley inside.
So now John Sally comes off the bench.
Sally has had some success against Barkley using his quickness and height. He can play in front of Charles, try and keep the ball away from him that way.
Sally's 6 inches taller than Barkley, but Charles so much stronger. Robinson looked inside to Jaminski, lost the handle. 5 to shoot. Cheeks lost it twice, but we've got a Detroit foul. It is on Isaiah Thomas.
Personal foul is on Isaiah Thomas. That's his first, team third.
Third on the Pistons in this quarter. Vinnie Johnson will come off the bench, and Sixer fans are probably groaning already.
That's an early substitution for Chuck Daly. Isaiah, unless he has 2 fouls, usually not off the floor at the 4.5-minute mark.
That is interesting. So Cheeks for a pair. Only had 2 points against Boston a couple of nights ago. In that game, the Sixers led the Celtics by 27 in the final quarter. So it shows that this club does not have to have Cheeks scoring a lot to be successful.
Better players get better when they have to do less.
That's what they're trying to say Michael Jordan will do this year in Chicago. Getting better as possible for him. Dumars arches again. Short this time. Sally got a fingertip on it a couple of times. Robinson Purdy. Philly looking to tie. We're almost 5 minutes into the ball game. Robinson forced the pass. Sally knocked it away. Dumars stole it. On the run, Detroit. Dantley leaking down the floor. Beats Robinson with ease. Robinson did not defend very well. Didn't look like he wanted to pick up a foul. And Dantley easily beat him. He has 9. 4-point Detroit lead. Barkley bangs into Sally. John catching the elbow of Barkley, and Charles mowed him down for the score.
And that's where Barkley is so relentless. He'll bang you with the body. If there's no foul called, he's much more effective on his second shot than he is with his first. And almost invariably, he comes up with his own miss.
Sally must feel like Donnie Lalonde right now. Lambier misfired. Sixers again trying to tie. Jeek was not cut off. Lambier with a block. And his outlet pass deflected by Robinson. Stolen by Vinnie Johnson. 3-on-2. Dantley inside. Got it. AD with an 11-point quarter. We're barely at the halfway mark.
AD is sneaking out on almost every change of hands.
figuring his buddies will be able to get the rebound, which they have so far. Jaminski is fouled. Pistons have been able to basically deny Philadelphia getting second shots. Sally with a foul. His first. And Jaminski will shoot two. And we'll come back to the Spectrum. The Pistons lead it 19-15. Well, the Pistons have been able to get themselves some pretty good shots. They are shooting at a 60% clip thus far, 9 of 15. The Sixers, conversely, are 6 of 12. Pistons came into the game, even though it's very early in the season, but they have had the best, or I should say the second best defensive field goal shooting mark in the league right now, keeping opponents in the first two games to 39% shooting. You're going to win a lot of ball games if you do that.
One of the things they've been successful doing in the early going, Fred, is just playing people straight up. A lot of times you have to get into playing zones or switches and doubles and things like that. Pistons have been able, for the most part, with Joe Dumars' help, of course, on Michael Jordan, just to play folks one-on-one. And, of course, when you have a lot of depth, you can be more aggressive. Number one, there's somebody behind you that can come off and take your place if you get in foul trouble. Number two, you better play well and you better play hard because Chuck has so many options.
Well, Jim Lynam was talking about this Pistons club, saying why he thinks maybe they're the best is nobody right now is playing any better defense in the league than they are. James Edwards in the ball game, not bashful about putting his first shot down. 21-17 Detroit. Barkley got away from Edwards this time. He's alone. 9 points for Barkley.
It's double tough for John Sally right now. He's playing with a back that's in a little worse shape than maybe you read about in the papers. Makes it difficult for him even to run. And when you have to start muscling somebody like Barkley, it's double tough.
Edwards working against Jaminski now. Low block. Turns on him. That's his shot. That's two. He'll hit that one about 80% of the time if he gets that deep. 23-19. Pistons by 4. Hersey Hawkins, his second shot tonight, may have been deflected by Isaiah. He got it back, though. Hawkins inside. And we got a foul.
Well, Hersey talks about it. He doesn't remember any time he's ever hit the first shot he's taken in a game. And it's been true so far this season. In all three, he's missed the first one. Actually, first game, he missed the first 4, but came back and hit about 5 out of the next 7. He is going to be a star in this league for a long time.
I have a feeling he hit his first shot at Callahan Hall last year. Remember, he had 63 points against the U of D?
He hit his first 20, I think.
Wow. He missed his first 4 shots as a pro in the opener against the Clippers Friday night, but Fred Carter, their assistant coach, leaped off the bench and said, Hersey, relax. He did. And then he wound up scoring 23 on the night in his first game as a pro. Dumars back to Isaiah. Lost it. Philadelphia wanted an up-and-down call. They probably had a beef.
Yes, they did.
I don't think the officials knew what to call. They've never seen that before. Dumars with a steal and Isaiah wide open on the other side of the timeline, but couldn't corral it.
And Joe got a little anxious that time.
Jim Lynam still shaking his head.
A lot of players on this Philadelphia team love to go to the hole. Cheeks, Barkley, got to play them all honest.
Robinson. Little pick and roll with Jaminski, who hooks it home. That's his shot.
And Mike, just a very, very solid player. Doesn't make too many mistakes out there. Good passer. He gets down on the low blocks. He'll wear you out.
He gave this team 17 points, 10 rebounds a night last year after the trade from New Jersey. Dantley double teamed by Cheeks, and Robinson found Sally the open man. John inside dunks.
That's the right move by Sally. Pistons working with him to go up strong now. Get fouled if they're going to stop you. But no little layups off the glass.
Ready to get called for traveling. 25-24, and the first field goal for the College Player of the Year a year ago.
See, the Pistons have accomplished what they wanted. They're forcing the double team on Adrian Dantley.
Near steal by Hawkins. He's had 8 steals in the first 2 games at this level. Dantley, 4 on the shot clock. Has to give it up. Finds Sally, who's open inside. John lost the handle, but was fouled with 1 second on the shot clock.
Good flash to the lane. Pistons had a couple of options. Sally went inside. He could have passed off to Edwards. With all the pressure out on the perimeter on Dantley, it ended up with a 2-on-1. As you see, the 2 Piston jerseys inside on Jaminski.
But good awareness by Sally. I am sure he was aware that the shot clock was short and couldn't afford the luxury of passing off there.
When the shot clock runs down. You have to go to the hole. Usually it's a panic shot in that situation, or somebody shooting an off-balance fadeaway. So you might as well be around where the ball's going.
Pistons have been sensational in the early season here from the free throw line. And wouldn't you know it, they miss here, but coming into the ball game, 84% from the stripe. They shot very well in the preseason, though, from the line. Robinson muscles inside. Triple defense as Sally deflected it. Out of bounds off Barkley. Good collapsing that time by Edwards and Sally to help out on the Robinson penetration.
The Sixers on a pace to score 30+ in the first quarter. That would be 8 quarters in a row that they have scored at least 30 points. That tells you a little bit about how their offensive philosophy is working.
They're an up-tempo game. Edwards doesn't get it from Dantley. AD thought about going. Illegal defense, at least he forced that against the Sixers. First one tonight.
AD showed them about 6 or 7 different shots at one time or another and basically froze the white shirts.
Timeout comes this time from Detroit. 2:57 to play in the opening quarter at the Spectrum. The Piston leads 2. Well, Isaiah Thomas had a no-look pass that might be an early vote for our player of the game tonight. Sixers in the midst of 11 games out of the first 15 in this building, and with a club that is trying to rebound from not making the playoffs a year ago, this is a pivotal month. They've got to make some ground early. Pistons, on the other hand, playing 8 of the first 10 on the road, so if they can maintain themselves in this stretch, they'll be off to a good start. Marty will be keeping us abreast of the scores around the NBA. Atlanta playing Indiana tonight at the Omni, a game we'll watch with particular interest. Ball stolen away. Robinson got a piece of it. Barkley wound up with a steal. Dumped off neatly to Cheek.
Barkley, one of those few big guys that has the ability to take the ball from one end to the other. And you have to be so aware of him when he has it. Got to challenge him, make him make the pass. Otherwise, he'll blow through you.
Barkley says he likes this fast break style. He says, I won't have to try to shoot as much. Dumars, good. Joe Dumars with 4 field goals in the first quarter now.
Big difference. A year ago, you hoped Joe would make it. This year, you almost expect him to.
And he's looking for that shot. 28-26 Detroit. Dumars so far 4 of 5 shooting. Robinson bothered a bit by Dantley. Still rolled it in. If Robinson has 6, we're tied. Inside 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Dantley wants it low post. Will he get it? Robinson forcing him out a little bit. Dumars has given Hawkins some trouble. Ball was deflected, picked up by Sally alertly. Robinson with a rebound.
Those are doing a great job on their own defensive boards. This one's getting 1 shot.
Jaminski, short. Edwards working against Barkley. Jaminski comes down with it. Missed it. Rebound Sally. Pistons come back the other way now. 5 on 3. Barkley and Jaminski loafing the other way. Sally, he traveled. Pistons really had a golden opportunity that time, but couldn't convert.
And a late whistle that time. He did travel.
Vinnie Johnson will come back off the bench for Chuck Daly. And now we get a look at a guy who's been sort of a folk hero in the first 2 games of the season. Little Scotty Brooks at 5'11", a rookie out of UC Irvine. He wears number 1. He'll quarterback this club, and he has really caught the fancy of the fans here. Talk about a Walter Mitty story. He was never even drafted. Came out of college a year ago, and here he is in the big time. Barkley, back to Brooks. Shot puts it short. Sally knocked it back out to Anderson. Ron Anderson short. Vinnie Johnson lost the rebound. Philadelphia ball with 53 seconds to play in the opening quarter.
Got to come down with those rebounds. Had 2 misses and only 1 white shirt inside. 3 Piston jerseys.
Jaminski way short. Hawkins with a hustle rebound.
Be 4 shots.
Barkley thinks about it. Takes it inside. Look out. Blocked by Sally, but a foul. John got a lot of ball, but I think he got him with the body as well.
Charles is so big you almost can't help fouling him when he gets that much inside. And you have to make a decision, as with Dantley. How are you going to play Barkley? You almost want to concede him that outside shot. Make him beat you out there, because he can't hurt you as much if he misses as he does if he misses in here. If he misses this shot, 90% of the time he's going to come right back down with it and go up again.
Well, Chuck Daly, not happy with the rebounding situation, has summoned Dennis Rodman to the floor. Plus Sally with 2 fouls has to sit down or check it. Well, Sally comes off the floor.
What you'll see, I think, a lot this year, Fred, will be the Pistons starting 5, playing teams pretty even. The difference in this club, of course, is the bench. The Pistons are a great 48-minute team. If they play 48 minutes, they will beat you because they have more talent from 1 to 9, 1 to 10 than anybody else in the league.
Chris Belp, the second-year guy from Washington, will now play some center for Philadelphia, replacing Jaminski. Dantley traveled.
Traveling violation.
76ers get it back with 30 seconds to play in the quarter. That's Scotty Brooks. Played in the CBA a year ago. Working the shot clock down. He's quick. Missed the shot. Isaiah comes down with it. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. Vinny hurries it up. Didn't have to rush it. Follows his own miss. And fortunately was fouled.
Pistons with a break that time. And a little news for Hersey Hawkins. Hasn't seen Vinny play before. When Vinny takes that shot, don't give up on him defensively. You've got to put a body on him. Keep him away from the hole, because he follows his shot as well as anybody in the league.
There was about 6 seconds left on the clock when Vinny put it up.
That was a great outlet by Isaiah Thomas. Left-handed sidearm shot put, or discus, I guess it would be.
Right on the money. I guess Al Order would be proud. Vinny will try again. Played a good ball game in the season opener at Chicago, and then tailed off a bit against the Hornets Saturday night at home.
Pistons need to put pressure on this ball. Pressure on the inbound.
2 seconds to go in the quarter. Brooks. He came awfully close on about
At the end of one quarter, the 76ers 30. The Pistons.
Boy, they would have elected him to office on this election day had he made that one. He's already won enough fans in the first 2 games. 30-29 our score. The 76ers lead after 1 quarter of play. We'll return to Philadelphia after this timeout.
Join our team.
Welcome back to the Spectrum in Philadelphia. If you're flipping back and forth, watching the election returns and catching a little hoops, the Pistons trail 30-29 at the end of the first quarter. Tomorrow night, the Pistons will be back home, and it should be a doozy with the Atlanta Hawks at the Palace. Any tickets available?
There's a few hundred, Fred. A few hundred for tomorrow, and I think a few hundred for the next game, which is just before Thanksgiving against the Knicks. And then the Lakers come in for what should be a memorable game. That one, I think they are all sold out of.
That'll be on national TV on CBS.
About a few hundred tomorrow.
Anderson misfiring to start the second quarter. Here comes Detroit. Rodman flying on the left wing. Isaiah with a basketball. Spots it open. Lambeer. Too strong. Rebound along with the Brooks.
This is the team the Pistons should be able to stretch it out again.
Anderson baseline. Air ball to Belt. Puts it back up. Rebound inside again. Ben Coleman fouled from behind by Rodman. And the Pistons have to do a much better job on their defensive boards. Philadelphia starting to get second and third shots.
We talked about that on the tip. That if the Pistons could hold this team to 15 or so offensive rebounds, they should be able to win this ball game. That's at least 7, I would say, that Philly has come down with so far in the first 13 minutes.
Coleman's the guy that came over in that trade last year, along with Jaminski from New Jersey.
Keep in mind, this Philly club has been shooting 55% as a team through the first 2 ball games. They're not doing it tonight, but they're getting enough opportunities to keep a lead.
The Pistons have done pretty much what they wanted to, and that is short circuit that Philadelphia break. Oh, forced pass. Hawkins with a near steal. Vinny got it back after a bad pass.
It's the third time they've almost picked off a perimeter.
VJ 13-footer is perfect.
Well, he's home now.
As we mentioned at the outset, lifetime in this building, Vinny averaging 20 points a night. Anderson's had 2 pretty good ball games with this club. This is his first year as a Sixer. He's had 2 games of 12 points.
The Pistons want to do a little one-on-one. Mr. Brooks will have a tough time with Isaiah, quick as he is.
I'll see. Lambier left wide open. Belt late arriving. Dantley against Anderson. And illegal defense. That'll give the Pistons a technical free throw.
Called against the 76ers.
Dantley has forced one from each side of the court. Chuck Daly was holding court with the Philadelphia press corps before the ball game. Of course, every time he comes back here, it's a pretty big argument. So did Daryl Dawkins. I mean, there must have been 10 writers interviewing him before the ball game. Dantley hits the tee, so he has a dozen points. And the Pistons will get a new 24 seconds and a chance to tie.
See that knee brace on Christian Belp. Had serious knee problems last year.
Yeah, he only played 10 games and then was lost for the rest of the campaign. Dumars to an unsuspecting Lambier who rolled off the pick. Good idea by Joey, but he expected him to shoot. Hawkins, 18-foot back. He's a gifted player. Doesn't create a lot of shots on his own, but a terrific stand-up shooter. And can shoot off balance, as you saw there. Dumars nearly walked. Philadelphia by 4. The Horn wants it low paint. Vinny Johnson leads inside, hits 2 in a row. Where have the Sixers seen this before? Vinny Johnson now with 5. He could be heating up 36-34. Sixers by 2.
Well, Brooks on Vinny is really a mismatch. Vinny's so strong, he'll just take him wherever he wants.
Hawkins inside. Figured he would draw a whistle. And it's a foul on Lambier. That's his second.
His second unit. Hersey just sort of takes over, which is really impressive for a young player. Not afraid to take the 20-footer, not afraid to put it on the floor and go inside.
Stay with us at halftime. I think we'll get a kick out of it. We interviewed Hersey and his college coach, Dick Versace. There's a mutual love affair between those two, I'll guarantee you. And I think you'll get a kick out of it. Dick will relate the story and how he first started recruiting Hawkins out of high school. Kind of an unusual story.
Well, Hersey gives them some depth for the future. It gives them 2, I think, stars or potential stars in Barkley, who already is there, and Hersey, who will be. Charles is only 25 for all the time he's spent in the league. Hersey, 23 years old. They could be around for the next 10 years.
Pistons break that pressure easily. They're down by 4. Good change of pace move by Dumars.
Excellent move. You saw everybody out on the perimeter. It's like in hockey. If you can break the blue line, you have some room in there to move.
Dumars 10 points. Anderson short. Rebound Lambier. Quickly looked for the outlet. Nothing was there. Pistons again will try to tie. Vinny Johnson dumps to Lambier a little bit wide. Oh, another turnover.
Second time in the last 5 possessions, the Pistons have had trouble making connections with Lambier on the pick and roll.
David Wingate, who has been sort of buried on the bench in the early going because of the emergence of Hawkins.
Well, this crew out there right now, you don't really have the good, pure outside shooter. Ron Anderson may be the biggest weapon that they have, but Ben Coleman has improved his inside game.
Brooks dumps to Coleman, bangs into Lambier, short. Rebound to Lambier. You're right, though. This 5-some now for Philadelphia. Not much of an offensive threat. Dumars. Oh, Felix put it down. He's fouled. What a great shot. Oh, my. Dumars.
Personal foul is on David Wingate. His first personal.
Checking out all his equipment to make sure he's all together.
He was moving. That was an excellent call. The crowd's not going to like it here. But there was no way he was stationary. Joe kind of ran out of options down here. Was going to give the dish to Rodman on the left.
Is good for Joe Dumars. He's at the line.
Excellent shot.
Well, you know, Chuck Daly says that Dumars is his most improved player from a year ago. And I believe it. He is just so much more confident as a scorer. Joe said the only day he would take off during the summer from shooting was Sundays. And right now he's got a 13-point ball game working. We still have 8.5 minutes to play in the first half. Anderson dumps back to Velp. 18-footer, apparently within his range. Velp, the all-time scorer in Washington Husky history. 40-39 our score. Philadelphia regains the lead. Lambier off a Mahorn pick. Got it.
Bill Lambier.
First field goal for the Pistons center. 41-40 Detroit. Velp passed up a shot. Anderson cut off by Rodman. Velp runs into Lambier stop sign. 10 seconds for Brooks and company to put it up. Wingate low post pass to Anderson, who was fouled by Rodman.
First foul is on Dennis.
Anderson got that good inside position. Had Rodman out on his right shoulder. Pushed off as the ball came inside. Dennis forced to grab.
Third Piston team foul in the quarter. The Sixers have one. Velp couldn't get away from Rodman. And then Anderson lost the handle. Here comes Mahorn. 4-on-2 run. Ricky Key in the break. Dumps it off to Dumars, who wasn't looking for it. Got it away from Brooks. That's muscle there. Still plenty of time to shoot. No panic here. The pass found its mark to Lambier. Cross court to Dumars. Fires up a three. Mahorn over the back foul. It should be on Wingate. Ricky had position on the box out. And
loose ball foul is on Ron Anderson. His first personal foul.
Nolan Fine really had a choice there because Wingate also climbed up Mahorn's back. Second team foul on the Sixers. 7:25 to go to halftime. Vinnie Johnson. Short. Rodman with a tap. Coleman lost. And it hit the basket support, so it is still... No, it is not. Piston ball, is it?
Should be.
That's what I thought. It is Piston ball.
That's good help. Lee Jones couldn't quite see it. He asked for assistance and got it.
Lambier setting the pick out high on Wingate. Vinnie Johnson around that. Through the whistle. Count that, baby. He'll go to the line for a three-point play. Vinnie Johnson starting to crank it up now. He has 7 points. He will look for 8.
That's his first personal.
Here's another shot you don't see Vinnie take very often. Kind of a straight arm, little flick of the wrist. Saves those for Philly, I believe.
Well, Jim Lynam has seen enough of his second unit in toto. He puts Jaminski back on the floor along with Robinson. You know, it's interesting, Tom, to see how the Pistons have developed, because the Sixers have been talking about how vastly improved they are in their second line, which they are. But if you match up their 6 through 10 player against the Pistons, there is no comparison. Lambier. Brooks. We got a jump ball. Lambier at 6'11", Brooks at 5'11".
It really looked like he had his son in his arms, who's just about that size. You know?
Look at this.
You've ever seen Eric? He's about 5'11".
Little Scotty Brooks and Danny, huh? I think Billy will win this test. But you can see why Brooks has caught the fancy of the Philadelphia fans here. He is a hustler. Wisely, didn't even waste the energy trying to out-jump the taller Lambier. Pistons lead by 3. Vinnie Johnson just way too strong, though, for the rookie. Takes him inside, goaltender. Ben Coleman got it on the way down. Give Vinnie Johnson the bucket. He has 9 points. 8 have come in this quarter.
In all fairness to Brooks, he is really mismatched out there. And the teams that have the small guards like a Spud Webb, like a Tyrone Bogue, you've got to have somebody behind him to block shots, because they'll just take him inside and abuse him.
Jim Lynam is out on the floor, questioning something from Lee Jones. I don't know if it was the goaltend call or what.
It was an early call, but it looked proper from our perspective.
Because as we all know, Vinnie Johnson does not put much arc on his shot. It's almost heading on the way down when he shoots it.
76ers call timeout.
Well, At any rate, we'll try to get an explanation. The Sixers do call a timeout. The Piston field goal is good. 45-40 Detroit. We'll be back as we near the halfway mark of the second quarter.
During half, Don and try their luck. And making a shot from midcourt.
We're back at it in Philadelphia as the Pistons lead it 45-40. 6:40 to go here in the second quarter. Robinson spotting Cheeks underneath. Good exterior pass from Robinson. Cheeks has 8. And it's a 3-point Detroit lead. Vinnie Johnson, good penetration to Mahorn. He was fouled. Then he can create some things when he's able to penetrate like that, and that time he chose to dish off to an open teammate.
Nice job of turning the corner. You see how Philadelphia has responded during the timeout. They come back with Ron Anderson on Vinny. Anderson about 6'7", 6'8". Tougher matchup for Vinny. Has to use his quickness. Can't muscle Anderson like he could Scotty Brooks to get that good position inside. Once he turned the corner, it was all him. Vinny, very much like Andy to this extent. When he gets it rolling, you have to commit 2 guys, and you have the whole defense standing around with one eye on Vinny and the other eye on their guy, and that's just not enough. So if you move out there, if you're a Piston and you're moving, Vinny can find you.
There's Robinson. Came up short. Ball belongs to Detroit. The free throw missed by Mahorn, by the way, was his first this season. He had hit 9 straight.
Saw Cliff Robinson shooting that time on the move. Cliff much more effective when he takes a 1 or 2 dribble move or just gets the ball down low and does a turnaround jump shot.
That's a good point. Pistons by 4 with the ball. Vinnie Johnson dumps inside, forced to pass that time. Mahorn tried to stay after it. Coleman comes down with it. Here comes Cheeks. Open right wing Robinson. He couldn't get it to him. Down deep Coleman. With a hook. We haven't seen him shoot that very much in the prior meetings between these two clubs. 46-44 is our score.
Well, Ben realizes he's an inside player and spent most of the summer working on that game. The variety of layups.
Coleman defending Vinnie Johnson this time, and BJ rolls it in.
That's a Philly shot for BJ. When he gets the rubber rims, you know that he's in the spectrum.
11 points for Vinnie Johnson now. 10 have come in the quarter. 4-point gap again. 5:15 to go to halftime. Jaminski tried to get away from Mahorn, did, but the pass was wide from Anderson.
Barkley coming back in. You know, it's real tough. A lot of coaches have different theories. The Pistons truly, though, are one of the few teams that can put 5 different guys out on the floor and continue to be effective. Lynham just tried that a few moments ago, and we saw what the results are. So many times you'll see them experiment with that early in the year. Then later in the year, they'll always keep 2 starters on the floor, so you have a little bit of semblance of talent out there.
Barkley defending Johnson this time. VJ missed it. Rodman got a piece of the rebound, but it came down so hard he couldn't pull it in. Here comes Cheeks looking up the floor. Barkley at the baseline. Threw up a prayer. Wasn't answered. Rodman pulled it down.
Excellent outlet by Dennis.
But the Sixers did a nice job dropping back that time. Rodman spotting Lambier. He snuck in on the baseline, but he shuffled the shoe.
Good call.
So it goes back to the Sixers. Pistons have been a little bit sloppy in this quarter. But they have played very good defense, holding the Sixers to just 14 points in this quarter so far.
That was a tough shot by Lambier. You wonder why he double clutched. When you have Barkley coming behind you, you don't hear footsteps. It's like a tank coming at you.
Well, you just hear or feel the floor move.
You want to keep Barkley out there now.
6 on the shot clock. Barkley jumps it. No. Rodman with a rebound. Kicks it off to Vinny. 3-on-3 with Mahorn on his right. Now 4-on-3. Isaiah touch pass to Rodman. Ball was blocked. A late goaltend call. I think it was a proper one. Bruce Alexander, I think, was waiting for somebody else in his crew to make the call and then decided to do it himself.
We talked about Rodman in the transition, and that's an excellent call, again, as you get a chance to see the replay. Talked about Rodman in the transition. When he gets a rebound, he gets going so fast that in 2 steps, he's to midcourt before the defense can react.
50-44, Pistons' largest lead. Robinson, offensive foul, good call by Alexander, as Robinson banged into Rodman, who with a quick feet stayed with Robinson.
Second personal foul.
So the Pistons with the ball with a chance to go up 8. They trailed by 4 in the first quarter. 2-man game, Rodman and Isaiah. Vinny Johnson, 19-footer, too far. Mahorn with a long rebound. Starts it over again. Isaiah anticipating the move to the hole by Lambier. Led him too much.
That's the 4th time Pistons have passed the ball to Lambier and come away with a turnover. Not Bill's fault usually. He's in his position, but the ball goes sailing 4 or 5 feet away.
Cheeks lost it. Here comes Vinny Johnson with a steal. Finds Isaiah. Beats Barkley in the foot race. Barkley catches up though. Vinny Johnson to the hole for 2. He is fouled by Hawkins. He will try for a 3-point play.
Vinny's so tough, and as we've said the last 6 months or so, Vinny has really looked to take the ball inside more than he did early in his career, and he's coming away with 3-point opportunities. He's so strong in the upper body that you can foul him, and he's got the strength to get it up on the glass.
But it is truly amazing how he plays great basketball games in this building. Missed the free throw. Barkley comes down with a rebound.
Having a little trouble from the stripe tonight. Otherwise, his game's been flawless.
52-44 Detroit. Pistons have really put the clampers at the defensive end of this club. We got a holding foul on Rodman. That'll be the second on Dennis.
The 4th team foul. Philadelphia already in the bonus for the last 3 minutes here of the half. But again, you see what the bench can do for you, as we talked about earlier. Pistons were down when the bench started filtering into the lineup, and now that most of the starters are coming back up, they've got an 8-point bulge.
So Rodman sits down. Dantley replaces him. Robinson backing in for a shot. Forced it. Ball tipped by Jaminski. Isaiah comes down with it as Mahorn tumbles with Barkley. 3-on-3. Dantley glides in. The crowd wanted a travel call, but didn't get it. Dantley has 14. And just like that, the Pistons go up 10. Barkley in traffic, scores. He's fouled. Foul is on Lambier. Billy wanted, I think, an offensive foul on Barkley, who will oftentimes use the off arm. That's why he's upset. See if there was. Hard to argue there. Didn't look like any offensive foul on Barkley's part. 54-46, 2:36 to play in the second quarter. Barkley at the line when we return. I'm sure the guys from Cousins will be sneaking home after the ball game to try to catch some of the second half. There are a lot of great Piston fans in that store. Every time I go in there, those guys are always talking hoops, as well as Red Wings. Wanting to get the latest inside stuff, perhaps, but a lot of Piston supporters at Cousins. 54-46 our score. Here's Barkley will try to complete a 3-point play.
The amazing thing about Barkley is he shoots such a high percentage from the field and the free throw line. Every time he took a shot last year, he scored 1.76 points. This year he's over 1.8. That's by far the best percentage in the league.
Did you wear out your calculator trying to come up with that stat?
I'm not even sure it's right. But
impressive enough. Isaiah with a left-hander. And that is the first field goal tonight. First 2 points for Isaiah. 56-47. Robinson short. Mahorn got a hand on the rebound, but he committed a foul over the back to get it.
Well, you simply cannot control Charles Barkley without some help from the officials. I'm not saying it's a good call or a bad call, but with Barkley being allowed to play his own physical game underneath, you're helpless. And different referees are going to call it different ways, of course. But Charles has established his style of play in his 5 years in this league.
Mahorn sits down with 3 fouls. Barkley will look for his 16th point.
You see how Philly counters that right now with Mahorn sitting down. They may go to Barkley every time down the floor here in the last 2 minutes. Edwards probably will get the job, so it could be Sally.
But Chuck Daly does have the options. 8-point game, nearing the 2-minute mark to play in the first half. And all Pistons in this quarter.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Which is going to happen an awful lot for this club this season because of their guys. Edwards double team. Found Isaiah. Slides inside. Edwards could have dunked it, but instead laid it off the glass. Just kissed it off it. And James Edwards has 6 points.
AD just trying to keep Robinson out of the paint. He's really pushing down there.
Wingate dumps to Jaminsky. He fires it home.
You see Barkley catching that ball underneath. That gives you an idea what kind of position he actually had under there. He just blows people out of the paint. This is a guy, keep in mind, a lot of people said couldn't play in this league.
Well, Bobby Knight said he couldn't help his Olympic team. Edwards leaves for Dantley. Was chested by Robinson. Dantley missed the hook, followed in by Edwards.
Had 3 white jerseys on Dantley that time. That's what left Edwards open. You can get a lot of points off Adrian Dantley if you just hang around the glass.
If he ever misses. Cheeks bombs away, in and out and back in again. Mo Cheeks has a good game working as usual. He has 10. 60-52. Back and forth from 10 to 8 here in the last couple of minutes.
The Pistons would like to change two shots for 1 right now.
Vinnie Johnson dumps to a wide open Edwards who cans it. James Edwards is at 3 straight, and he's in double figures. Pistons already have 4 players in double digits. Barkley to Jaminsky, 17-foot gun is hard. Isaiah with a wide open rebound. He says, gosh, I want that back. 4 words to that effect. Edwards tried for the steal. 62-52. Sixers can work it down for just about the final shot of the half. In excess of 3 seconds on the game clock right now. That's Wingate. 4 to shoot. Had to readjust because of Edwards. Jaminsky hooked it in with 1 second on the shot clock. Pistons have 3 seconds to go in the half. Vinny has to hurry. Edwards does not beat the buzzer. It would not have counted anywhere. So Jaminsky closing with a field goal for Philadelphia, but the Pistons with a very, very solid second quarter defensively, holding the Sixers to 24 points. We'll be back with more from Philadelphia. Marty Adler will have the out-of-town scores, and we'll have a chat with Dick Versace and Hersey Hawkins. Stay with us on Penn. Well, Marty, I wonder how many games you watched over the past few years in the Pistons, and Isaiah Thomas would take 3 shots in 1 half of a game, and the Pistons would have 62 points. Probably not very often, but I think it's a barometer of what this team is about right now. Isaiah very content to let other people score, and they have. Adrian Dantley has 14 points. Joe Dumars and Vinnie Johnson each with 13, but Isaiah has been very content to let other people do the scoring.
And, you know, the experts say, looking at the statistics, that the Pistons are a much better team when Isaiah takes fewer shots because the Pistons are getting much better ball distribution. Well, the key stats, I think, in the first half come from, if nothing else, the bench points. You see the Philadelphia 76ers with 8 total, Pistons with 23 from Vinny and Edwards alone.
Well, the Pistons in the second quarter outscored the Sixers 33-24. As we had talked about at the outset of the telecast, in the 2 previous games, the Sixers had scored 30 points or better in all but 1 quarter, and then did it again in the first quarter here, scoring 30. So the Pistons really played some excellent defense in the second quarter. And I think it's a situation where we're seeing now with the Detroit Ball Club that night in and night out, if they play hard, as you alluded to earlier in the telecast, they're going to win more often than not. It's going to take a supreme effort by other clubs to beat them because they are so deep, and we hate to belabor that point. But again, you see it tonight. They're just slowly but surely hammering away at you and building the lead.
Sure, and I think it's difficult, particularly early in the season, because everybody is a pretty good ball club early in the year, particularly a club like Philly who's won 2 in a row. They're coming off a pretty good preseason. Nobody's hurt yet. You feel like you've got a fresh beginning. You really find, I think, the Pistons' strength will show up more so later on in the season. Not that they'll be a bad team now, but I think they will get stronger because of all the people that they have and their ability to withstand injuries.
Charles Barkley, to no one's surprise, leads the Sixer attack with 15 points. He's had 5 of 9 from the floor. Bo Cheeks, their other double-figure scorer, he has 10. Adrian Dantley, 6 of 8 from the floor in the first quarter. James Edwards came off the bench, 5 of 5. Benny Johnson, 6 of 10 shooting. Bill Laimbeer has 8 first-half rebounds for Detroit. Starting the second half of the Spectrum, 8-point Piston lead. Hersey Hawkins misfired. Mahorn was held by Barkley and still got the rebound.
Good box out, though, by Ricky. He can almost sacrifice himself to neutralize Charles Barkley on the glass.
Laimbeer trying to get it inside to Dantley. Stolen by Jaminski. Here comes Philadelphia in a break. They have not had many tonight. Robinson backing in. Hooking.
Good strength. Mahorn with the 3 fouls chose to lay off of him a little bit, hoping for the offensive call.
Mahorn wants to go to work down deep. Takes it in on Jaminski. Missed the left-handed hook. Tried to follow it up and punched it out of bounds.
The big guys have to be real careful putting the ball on the floor down low because Cheeks is usually somewhere around.
Barkley airs it out short. Rebound to Dumars. Pistons have led by as many as 10. Philadelphia led by 4 in the first quarter. Dumars takes it in, lost the dribble. Had beaten Hawkins, who expected him to go the way the pick dictated, but Joey just lost the handle. Robinson, a long bomber, in and out, rebound Mahorn. Here comes Isaiah. Sees 3 white shirts in front of him. He lost the dribble, but was fouled. It'll be on Cheeks.
I like with the creativity that Isaiah has, even if he comes down against numbers, as he did that time, sort of a 3-on-4 situation. With his quickness, he can still make the penetration. You see the crossover, and he's down the lane just that quick.
First team on Philadelphia in this quarter. Dumars eyeball to eyeball with Hawkins. Lost him on the fake. Put it down, and he is fouled. Joey Dumars will go to the stripe looking for his 16th point.
That's a tough shot by Dumars. He was looking for the call. See him just pull up on that dribble after 1 bounce and lean into Hersey Hawkins. Hersey's seeing a lot of things right now for the first time. He'll be a different player by the time these 2 teams get back together, and he's not a bad one right now.
Well, you got to look at Dennis Johnson a couple of nights ago, but right now Dumars, I would almost have to say, is a better player than DJ, at least offensively.
Certainly wouldn't trade one for the other.
Hardly. Dumars just really seems to now have that scoring mentality. Robinson did a tightrope walk to save it. Pistons shooting 64% from the floor right now. Robinson trying to muscle in again. Does successfully.
That's a tough matchup for Adrian Dantley. When he gets down low, he is such a strong player.
Conversely, Philadelphia shooting 44%. Dantley was double teamed by Anderson. Isaiah got inside, missed it. Laimbeer working for it, saves it for his 9th rebound.
Watch the double come.
Laimbeer, interior pass to Mahorn, right on the money. Rick Mahorn with 5 points. It's up to a 9-point ball.
Great defense by the Pistons, Fred.
Dantley helped that. Yep, Dantley helped out on the Jaminski drive. Robinson taking things into his own hands. Has 3 field goals here in the quarter. All 6 Philadelphia points coming from him. 67-60. Isaiah with a crossover blocked by Cheeks. Here comes Barkley on the loose. Around Laimbeer to the 2.
You got to grab Charles on that. You got to get him early. You know he's going coast to coast. If you just give him a shove at midcourt, it's not a breakaway, and make him earn him from the line. If you can catch him shoving.
5-point Detroit lead. Lambier comes out high. Cheeks commits the double. Dantley misfires. Rebound to Anderson.
Probably should have swung that ball that time. He had two guys way out on the perimeter.
Barkley. Ball deflected by Dantley. Robinson takes it inside again. He was out of control. Lambier helped out. Philadelphia miraculously came down with it. Barkley for three. Long rebound to Dumars. 3-on-2 opportunity with Isaiah and Dantley. Dumars leaves it for Zeke. Nearly walked. Dumars thought about the shot, takes it inside, spins it short, rebound Dantley. Took it away from Barkley, blocked by Kaminsky. Ball knocked out of bounds off Dantley, and it is Philadelphia ball. And the Sixers crowd now into the ball game for the first time since the first quarter.
They're coming back right now. Good defense being played by Philly. Pistons have had some opportunities, haven't been able to knock the jumpers down.
Nearly 4 minutes of the second half have expired. Pistons led by 8 at the half. We have an offensive foul on Jaminski. Second on the Philadelphia center. And the Pistons will go to work again. Barkley picked up Isaiah. Should have been a foul there. No whistle. Dantley rolled it in. Chuck Daly asking Bruce Alexander, where's the whistle? The guy was raked across the arms, Chuck said. AD has 16. 7-point Piston lead. Jaminski sets the pick on Dantley. Lambier has to pick up Robinson on the switch. Cliff Robinson misfires. Ball tapped around, comes out to Isaiah. Around Barkley like he was standing still. Isaiah against Cheeks, kicks it out to a trailing Mahorn. No whistle there with some contact. Dantley somehow came down with it and is fouled. Took it away from Jaminski and Robinson, and AD will shoot a pair. Jaminski picks up another foul, his third.
The Pistons still forcing the tempo almost every time, Fred, when there's a transition. Getting the ball down quickly. Mahorn that time on a trailer. That ball just barely touched the rim. Dantley in the right position at the right time.
Isaiah is so good at spotting that trailer. And that, in addition to his innate ability, comes from the fact that these guys have played together now for 3-4 years, this basic group.
Well, and you can't overestimate the importance of that. And that's something that, again, we talk about Hersey's development. He'll get better as he learns what people can do. Right now, when they're in that running game, you want him to handle the ball rather than Cheeks. Because Cheeks will play a little more instinctively at this stage of the career.
9-point Piston lead. Dantley has 18. Lambier and Jaminski. Jaminski with the offensive foul with an elbow as Lambier may have acted a little bit. Philly went flying. Jaminski picks up very quickly his fourth foul, and he's going to have to sit down for a while. Philadelphia forced to call a timeout as Jim Lynam felt the foul should have gone the other way. That Lambier precipitated it. 71-62 Detroit. Their possession when we come back. They're on top of things here at Election Central at the Spectrum with 4% of the vote in the presidential race. George Bush has 58% of the vote in. Michael Dukakis, 42%. I don't know how many fouls on Dukakis so far. Darryl Dawkins, as you see, still a big crowd favorite here in Philadelphia, as well as a media darling. Updating some scores that Marty gave you at halftime. The Hawks lead the Pacers at the half, 48-38. That's at the Omni. And let's see, Charlotte trying to get their first win in franchise history. They lead the Clippers at the half, 57-55. That is at Charlotte. We'll be there in a few weeks with the Pistons on pass. 71-62 our score here. 6:45 to play in the third. Cheeks with some hustle there with a near steal. Dantley, Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson have been the big scoring heroes so far. Bad pass by Lambier, stolen by Robinson. Takes it in for 2.
You can't make that pass. Got to make sure that far out on the perimeter you get it to him or you go a different direction.
So Cliff Robinson has 8 of the 10 second half points for Philadelphia, 71-64. Dumars had to force it, puts it down, he is fouled again. Joe Dumars with a great ball game will look for his 19th point. He has been outstanding from the floor, 8 of 11.
4th team foul. Basket is good. Joe Dumars shoots 1.
I can't get over the improvement and the aggressiveness in his game since last summer.
Now, there again, he's forcing the ball sometimes. Shots that he wouldn't normally take, and maybe you wouldn't advise. But when they're going down, you say, just keep it going.
But I think he knows, Tom, he can make those. He probably did in college.
No question about it.
You don't average 27 points a game like he did at McNeese State without knocking those kind of shots down. Anderson wipes out Dumars twice, no whistle. Lee Jones looking right at it. Robinson cut off neatly by Isaiah, still scoring. Sally hit the deck. Well, it's replaced Mahorn, and it's getting physical out there.
It is down low. Charles has the strength to just take Sally and bend him over backwards.
8-point Detroit lead. Isaiah kicks it over to Lambier. In and out, rebound, lost by Coleman and Robinson. Stolen from Dantley by Robinson. He's had a great third quarter. He's keeping Philadelphia close. Anderson walked, no whistle. Coleman slapped it in. It wasn't a pretty exchange, but Philadelphia scored 74-68. Sixers with another bit of a spurt. And a 20-second timeout by Chuck Daly.
One difference you may see with this club here in Philadelphia this year, Fred, is that they will not roll over. Feeling was around the league the last year or two, if you could keep Barkley on the floor, he'd run out of gas late in the game, and sometimes if you get him down by 12 or 15 points, they might quit on you. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. And it certainly helps that they have some more go-to guys, and Cliff Robinson's really taken this game on his shoulders.
Yeah, talent does tend to help. Here's Robinson off that steal. He's hit 5 of his 6 shots in this half and has really kept Philadelphia afloat. Ben Coleman getting the bucket. He has 6 points. I want to remind you, we'll have the Pistons and Hawks live from the Palace at 7:30 tomorrow night. Be our first broadcast out of that beautiful building.
Looking forward to seeing that game, Fred.
We got a foul. Dantley and Robinson exchanging shoves, and it is on Robinson on a hold. He hooked Dantley's arm.
That's the 5th team foul, so Dantley will go to the line. Pistons without any yet, so they can pick up their defensive intensity, you may see.
Now there you saw Robinson saying he held my arm. Robinson had his arm, see if you can see it, well you won't see it here, but at any rate had his arm underneath Dantley, and AD, it's a little trick he uses. He'll kind of press the defender's arm against his body, and against Charlotte, Earl Strom called it as an offensive foul.
Oh, I was going to mention that. You noticed that one?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
It was right in front of me. You don't usually see that call. In fact, I could not remember it called.
You don't sneak too many things past Earl Strom.
Especially if you're at home. Right? So goes the reputation. Dantley has 20, 76-68. Robinson feeling it, comes up short that time. AD leaking down the floor, has Cheeks to beat, takes it right at him, and he is fouled. It would have been a 3-point play had it gone down.
Cheeks tried to anticipate it that time, just couldn't get over there quick enough. You want to make AD on that shot go exactly the way the Cheeks made him. If you take that inside or baseline move, it's a little tougher shot with the right hand. If you take that baseline away, AD tends to swing in front of the basket, and he makes that shot a little easier. And then, of course, you're fouling the left arm, which doesn't stop the shot.
Dantley will look for his 22nd point. He's hit 7 of 12 from the floor tonight. As we mentioned, he came in shooting 67% from the field in the first 2 games.
Talking about that matchup tomorrow with Atlanta, I talked to Brendan Surr a little bit, who's the assistant coach for the Hawks. He's here tonight scouting both of these teams. He said none of those elements of discord that some people predicted have shown up there in the in the Atlanta locker room so far. The chemistry is just terrific, which is bad news for the rest of the world.
We'll see us in Malone at it. Barkley foul on Sally. John thought it was going to be an offensive foul on Barkley. He was headed the other way. John's still beeping. He has 3 fouls. It's such a tough matchup for him because he gives away a lot of muscle and some poundage.
He almost has to front Barkley because playing behind him, Charles will just sort of take him wherever he wants. Here comes the double.
Lambier committing that time. Now he hustles back to pick up his man. Robinson in trouble. Blocked by Sally. Says, get that thing out of here. Still Philadelphia ball, but a little bit of frustration.
That's why Sally's important in there. Cliff Robinson has been taking the ball into the paint, then doing a little windshield wiper with his back to the basket and turning around almost on the move. Sally in there can knock that shot away.
Ron Anderson lets it fly. Sally got a fingertip on it. Lambier comes down with it. Here comes Isaiah with Dumars 2-on-2 against Cheeks and Anderson. Isaiah inside. Left-hander. What a beauty.
That was a beauty. That was a tough little shot. Not too many options there for Zeke.
The Piston captain with 4 points, and Detroit leads by 11. A whistle down low. Robinson and Dantley muscling, and AD picks up the foul.
That's only 2 team fouls, though, still on the Pistons, so they have a few to give.
I think Robinson would have come flying out of his socks had that been an offensive foul, because he felt he had been getting the worst of the calls at the other end. 4:10 to play in the third at the Spectrum. Barkley. And we get another foul on Sally.
Again, that's what we talked about earlier. You can't guard Charles Barkley if he's the only one that can use his body. Trying to get that wide stance and get a good spread with his arms and his legs, but as soon as contact is made, if he's not in perfect position, it's going to go the other way.
Might we see Rodman on Barkley before the night's over?
Oh, it's a possibility. You may see everybody on Barkley before the night's over if he gets all of them in foul trouble.
Barkley will look for his 19th point. The crowd here now yelling, Darryl, Darryl. They want Dawkins in the ball game.
Might see Darryl on him before the night's over. He's one of the few guys that can match up with Muzzle.
79-70.
Really not too much full-court pressure by Philly, which is something that had been advertised from their first 2 games. They used their quickness to their advantage against the Celtics.
Now it's tough to effectively press Isaiah and Dumars. Down deep, Dantley kicks it out to Dumars. And a 3-second violation.
They caught Sally. Joe's been taking that shot tonight. Sally planted himself in anticipation.
So the Sixers get it back. They trail by 9. 3:50 to play in the third.
Sixers keep coming back, but that's a test of the club. The other test is how do you react when a team does make a run at you? So far, Pistons have been up to it.
Yeah, a season ago when they were a lottery team, they would perhaps have thrown in the towel. Pistons won some easy games here last year. Coleman, good defense by Lambier, stayed on his feet. Anderson missed the follow. Here comes Isaiah, 3-on-2 with Dantley and Dumars. AD to the hole, great strip by Cheeks. Ball off Cheeks, it went out of bounds, hitting the backboard support, but a splendid play. That's why he was a 4-time All-NBA first defensive teamer.
See if he gets his hand on the ball right here as AD goes up. Great strip.
Good give and go with Dantley and Dumars, who blows to the hole. Joey has 21. He has been outstanding tonight. Dumars 9 of 12 shooting. Robinson hits it. He's an excellent face-up shooter. He has 18.
He'll kill you if you allow him to square up like that. He can knock that down all night.
Vinnie Johnson off the bench has replaced Isaiah Thomas, who gets a breather. VJ. Blew a whistle. Foul on Anderson. And we have a Piston timeout. They take their mandatory third quarter timeout. 81-72. Pistons with a 9-point lead, trying to hold back the Sixers. Well, the Pistons leading here 81-72. They've gotten quite good production tonight from the 2-guard spot. 34 points combined from Vinnie Johnson and Joe Dumars. Reminder, Pistons will be home at the Palace tomorrow night, taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Tom and I will have it your way at 7:30 tomorrow night. Marty Adler will join us at the Palace as well. Get our first chance to look at Cazzie Russell as an NBA assistant. He has joined Mike Fratello's staff. It'll be good to see him tomorrow night as well. Vinnie Johnson to shoot a pair. Dennis Rodman is back out there. First time he's played in the second half. He has replaced Dantley.
Excuse me, Fred. I was just going to say that Charles Barkley is sitting out right now, so these will be an important 3 minutes. And Vinny misses another free throw. He's pretty much been splitting the pairs that he has had this evening.
Missed them both that time. He's missed 2 3-point play opportunities.
Those are really big shots. Vinny shot under 70% last year. He has to get it up over the 70% mark because he will be living on the line a lot.
And the pass too hot for Wingate to handle. Robinson really fired it, and the Pistons get it back.
You won't see the same continuity with this group on the floor. A little tougher to run the plays. They're about a half beat late.
And aside from Cheeks and Robinson, they don't have a lot of offensive firepower out there. Rodman turns on Anderson, missed the shot. Rebound comes down to Coleman as Edwards was swatting at it. 2:05 to play in the third. Perimeter passing. Wingate with 9 on the shot clock. Cheeks, good move around Dumars, dumps inside to Anderson. Both Cheeks made that happen. And Anderson, who's had 2 games of 12 points to start the season, has 4 tonight. Seven-point game.
Edwards should be able to score on his man,
which is Ben Coleman. Vinnie Johnson launches and scores. First 2 points for VJ in this half. He has 15.
Coleman gives up about 4 inches to Edwards. And Edwards doesn't have much trouble getting his shots off on comparably sized people.
Coleman got his own miss. Blocked from behind by Sally and saved. Here comes Vinnie Johnson. 3-on-3 run now. Rodman filling the right lane. Gets it from Vinnie. Glides in. Rolls it in.
Dennis probably shoots that shot midair on the run, way up high with one hand extended, as well as anybody. But nobody else shoots it.
He can ad-lib it, I'll tell you. 85-74. Pistons back in front by 11. Robinson squares up. 2 more.
That's it. You want to play Cliff Robinson straight up. You don't want to let him get away and cheat off because they only have 2 real offensive threats. In Cheeks, who doesn't really want to shoot that jumper, and Robinson, who will. So if you're going to double off, you might want to double off Wingate.
Vinnie Johnson working against Wingate. Dumps to Sally, who had rolled off the pick. Rodman trying to post Anderson. Vinnie Johnson double team. Just threw it away. Well enough, you're looking to cut it back to 7. Coleman knocked away by Edwards, who reached in for the foul.
Personal foul is on Dennis Rodman, his 4th personal.
And they give the foul to Rodman, not Edwards.
I say that Ben was shooting, it's hard to tell.
So it is the 4th foul on Rodman.
Scott Brooks checks back into the lineup. We talked about him a lot in the first half, just 5'11". Vinny sort of abused him in the few seconds, a few minutes that they were matched up. Vinny just took him into the paint and shot over him about 3 different occasions.
16 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Big possession, Fred, for the Pistons.
Chuck Daly is livid. I don't think he figures that should be a shooting foul, and I would agree with him.
Usually you have to be facing the basket.
Lynham now giving it to Bruce Alexander, saying, why is Daly allowed to come to the timeline and argue, and I can't? Coaches are supposed to stay within that 28-foot hash mark. And now Chuck. Lynham didn't see him, but Daly now was stepping his foot back and forth across the hash mark as if to say to Lynham, don't worry about me, worry about yourself. 85-78. Final 6 seconds of the quarter. Dumars puts it down again.
Scotty Brooks on defense. We talked about Vinny taking advantage of him. Jimmy Lynham
Team over the line.
Tried to mix it up by putting Brooks onto Joe Dumars, but it's hard to hide the kid. He helps you on offense. That's where he either will or won't make the league, probably, Fred. His ability to guard the bigger people.
Dumars looks for his 24th point.
Got to put a lot of pressure, the Pistons do, on the ball right now after this made free throw. Don't let him scoot down the floor.
Joe Dumars 1 point from his career high in the regular season. Brooks with 1 on the clock, swiped by Dumars. That'll do it for 3. I'm telling you, Dumars has played an outstanding basketball game. I don't know if he can play much better than he has played tonight. The Pistons close strong. A very solid quarter from beginning to end, and they lead after 3, 88-78. We'll be back for the final quarter in Philly. Take a look at the scoring by quarters. The Pistons with quarters of 29, 33, and 26. They've held Philadelphia to 2 consecutive quarters of 24. And the Sixers have topped the 120-point mark in the first 2 games of the season. They have really put the red light on the Sixers' running game.
Philly only shooting 44% for the game, Fred. They've been shooting 55 as a team. You shoot 55, not usually with great outside shots, but with that running game that steals you a few layups. It hasn't been there. Pistons doing a great job getting back on defense, and you haven't seen too many end-to-end rushes that have been successful for Philly.
Late third quarter at Atlanta, the Hawks leading the Pacers 69-60. And at halftime, it's the Knicks leading Chicago 69-64. Stay with us after the ball game. Marty Adler will update all the scores for you. Plus, we'll have a player interview. And right now, Joe Dumars would be a pretty good candidate. James Edwards hits it again. He was 5 for 5 from the floor in the first half. He is yet to miss tonight.
Saw the patience of the Pistons on offense. Moved the ball around with 5 passes, and Edwards was all by himself.
James has 12 points. Barkley, left-hander, and he was fouled.
Get later in the game, Barkley traditionally will take the ball to the hole on almost every possession, or at least every time that he touches the ball. So you might want to play off of him an extra foot or 2 feet so you can react a little bit, make him swing a little wider. He just puts his head down. He is in a straight line to the hole normally. He is one of the few guys in basketball that can beat you by himself.
In basketball or wrestling or what?
Wait for the release.
You name it, right?
Horse racing. Then he'd be carrying it.
Yes.
But I didn't know.
Carrying the horse. Barkley has 21. Lifetime against Detroit. Barkley over his career is averaging just over 20 points a game against this team. 90-80. Vinnie Johnson to a rolling sally, got it away from Hawkins, and it's stripped by Coleman. Picked off, though, by Rodman. Isaiah darts inside, bangs into Coleman, foul on the Philadelphia forward.
Personal foul on Ben Coleman. His first personal foul. Team
First on Coleman, and Isaiah will shoot 2.
Isaiah Thomas shooting 2.
Isaiah tonight has not looked to shoot very much at all. Just hasn't had to. He's only taken 5 shots. We'll try again. Pistons free throwing has really been the only negative for them tonight. Vinnie Johnson 1 of 6 from the stripe. Isaiah at least gets the second. 91-80. That's Brooks, the rookie from UC Irvine. Anderson, a lot of room. Missed it. Was able to follow it up. It was such a brick. Coleman over Sally. That's out of his range. Vinnie Johnson high over Barkley for the rebound. Boy, did he get up. Leaves it for Isaiah this time. Floats it, misses it. Pushing foul on Barkley. Or Anderson. It'll be Anderson. Usually when blue shirts go flying like that and Barkley's standing around there, you got to assume it's him. Guilt by association.
That's right. Billy really pushed that ball down the floor the last time, though, Fred, to set up that play.
after pulling down a mammoth rebound. Low post to Edwards. Coleman has his hands full there. James missing. Sally missing the tap. Comes down to Anderson. Brooks forcing the tempo. Pistons did a nice job denying penetration. Rodman did a good job on Anderson. Brooks tries a three-way short. Here comes Isaiah. 2-on-3. Trying to weave his way. Rodman had the pass intended for him. Barkley with a nifty steal. Barkley through traffic. Leaves it for Coleman. Challenged by Sally. A lot of contact, no whistle. Pistons got a break there. Brooks comes down with it. He's fouled. Scott Brooks with his first 2 points tonight. He will try for a three-point play. He had to readjust over Sally. It was a pretty clever shot. Where he looks like the ball boy, doesn't he?
Give him his due. He's paid a terrible price tonight trying to guard the Pistons guards. So he earned that one. That was a big, big shot for this club.
91-85, Isaiah puts it down. He just took Brooks to the hole and said, try to stop me. Isaiah has 7.
Pistons now going with Rodman on Barkley. Kind of confused out there defensively right now.
Percy Hawkins put up the left-hander as he was getting fouled.
That was a manly shot that time. He just leaned into Vinny and just pushed him down into the lane. Felt the contact and then faded away for the jumper. Things the coaches like about him throughout the league is that many times when you have a big scorer like Hersey was, they tend to be just plain shooters, and that's all they really care about is how many points they have at the end of the night. Hersey's a very unselfish player. He shot 50-odd% when he was in college all 4 years. 53 is last year when he averaged 36 a game.
And he is a very good passer as a big guard. Hawkins has 9. 8-point game, 93-85. Vinny Johnson, too firm. Sally with a good rebound, tries to follow it up. And he was fouled by Barkley and Jaminski. Let's see who gets it. It's Barkley. Second foul.
When your guards are getting penetration, and you might call it slow penetration when Vinny has the ball, he moves down just inside the paint. You do force a lot of the Philly players to come out and be conscious of Vinny. That will create those offensive rebound opportunities.
Sally will look for his 5th point. Been in foul trouble tonight trying to corral Barkley when he's been out there. But John makes them both. 10-point game again. 9:15 to play in the 4th. It's been all Pistons since the first quarter. Brooks had it knocked away momentarily by Isaiah. That's Hawkins trying to create something. He beat a triple team with a shot, and he was fouled. Foul on Sally.
Sixers not getting much out of a set offense right now. It's pretty much a one-on-one game, either Barkley on one side or Hawkins on the other. But they'll take it because they've either been getting baskets or opportunities at the line. There you see all the Pistons going to him. Those shots are going to drop in time.
Clever little move by Hawkins inside to get off the shot.
Hersey very well put together. We talked about in halftime. He was a center in high school. A lot of scouts, a lot of coaches didn't really believe that he was going to be a big-time player because he was doing different things in the paint.
And if you saw the interview at halftime, Dick Versace had to plead with Hawkins to shoot after he recruited him. He said, if you don't, you're out off this team, or at least you're not going to play very much. 8-point game, 8:45 to play. Edwards against Barkley. Illegal defense against Philadelphia. Pistons will shoot the tech.
Illegal defense calling it.
Lynham upset about it.
Results in a technical foul.
When a team's putting pressure on you with resorting to double teams all over the court, many times when you hold the ball for a moment, as Edwards did that time, you see people scrambling back to try and get to their men. They're lost out there, and the officials will call it if they don't recover quickly.
Rick Mahorn, and you never would have seen him shoot a technical free throw earlier in his career. But that's how good he has become at the free throw line. The Pistons have that kind of confidence in him.
Well, you know, a year ago when he was having the back problems, that's all he could do. And he shot free throw after free throw just to try and keep his rhythm as best that he could, since he was only playing about 10 minutes a game.
It's an interesting point. Isaiah, 10-foot floater, too far. Ball punched out. Rodman tried to save it as the fans go flying. For once, Dennis didn't. 96-87. Pistons still by 9. Dumars will get ready to check back in. Rodman doing a good job defending. Jaminski hooked it home as Isaiah got a piece of that one. And Jaminski has 10. 76ers still within shouting distance. It's a 7-point game. Nearly 4 minutes of this quarter have elapsed. Benny Johnson came off the pick. Guns in and out. Rebound Mahorn. Barkley fouled him. And Barkley slapping Mahorn in the face. Barkley challenging Mahorn. Ricky Wise, though, to back off. Now, that's got to cost Barkley something. Do you toss him here or not? Mahorn did not throw a punch. He challenged him verbally. And Barkley, with the open fist, slapped Ricky. See if the officials have the guts here to take a stance. You got to give him a technical, don't you, Tom?
Well, you see it again, just to give the fans a better chance. See Barkley pushing off on Rick. Now Mahorn has the ball. There's a foul, no call. There's a foul, no call. And there's the first. This is one of the arenas very similar to the Palace where you do have television for an official if they're looking for some help on a call.
Third personal foul.
They are giving Barkley a personal foul.
Team fourth direction, and a technical foul has been assessed to Charles.
Well, a technical foul is assessed to Barkley. It should be. Chuck Daly pleading his case to Lee Jones.
Personal foul, Charles Barkley, his third.
Lynham is upset.
Technical foul, Charles.
Lynham saying if Mahorn wouldn't have thrown an elbow, it wouldn't have happened. I think it was more of an elbow to get Barkley off it. Mahorn missing the technical free throw.
Well, both teams in the bonus from this point on. Chuck Daly wants free throws for Ricky.
Yep, I agree with that.
In the act of shooting, he never really did get the ball up because he was being hacked down low.
Well, if the third quarter foul putting Ben Coleman at the line was worth 2 shots, you would think Mahorn's would be, but I guess you can't get every call.
The crowd's back in this ball game right now, Fred. Very important next couple of minutes. Even this possession is critical. Pistons score here, they kind of neutralize the crowd.
Edwards down deep. 10-footer. Throws it in. James Edwards, like money in the bank when he gets the ball that deep.
Or has he been shooting well tonight also?
He's only missed 1 of 8 tries. 98-89. 7.5 to play. Hersey Hawkins lost the dribble. Missed it. That would have been a heck of a shot. Ball off Mahorn.
He's by you so fast and down the lane, everybody has to be a half a step quicker.
Rodman trying to deny the pass down low to Robinson. Cheeks around Vinnie Johnson, bothered by Edwards. Loose ball foul on Cliff Robinson. James Edwards is much more aggressive defensively in this his second season with the Pistons than he was a year ago. Would you agree?
And, you know, talking to Isaiah before the season started, one of the things he was talking about is that there is a particular way, a particular style of play that Pistons are expected to play if you're a player by the other players. I don't know if that makes any sense.
On the team.
But it's Detroit Pistons basketball, and if you're going to come over here and be a member of this team, you're going to play physical, and you're going to play hard, and you're going to play every night. And if you don't, then you'll be playing someplace else. And that's led by players like Mahorn and Lambier. And James Edwards is probably playing as physical a brand of basketball as I can remember. Playing very, very well at the defensive end. The players have a lot of confidence in him.
Well, he was always known as a passive player throughout his career. He has 15 points tonight. 99-89. Pistons by 10. Mahorn with a knockaway. Fronted Jaminski, and the pass by Cheeks was too soft.
Yeah, not a good pass that time by Mo at all. Ricky strong enough as Jaminski tried to push him out so he'd get better position. Ricky never moved.
Not at all. Not an inch. I don't even think his shoelaces moved. Dumars 17-foot rainbow is perfect.
Look at that. Joe wanted that shot from the time he got the ball. He just waited for James to set up.
Joe Dumars is a brand new career high for the regular season, 26 points. He's had 35 on 2 occasions in the playoffs. Foul on Mahorn as he was leaning all over Barkley.
They've got to call those fouls early in the pushing and shoving and not wait too long for timbers to explode. That was a good call.
Yep. Dumars 11 of 14 shooting. 101-89 Detroit. 12-point lead with 6.5 to play. We'll return. Well, the Philadelphia 76ers came in as an advertised improved team, and they have been that tonight. They've played hard. But the Pistons, up to this point, have just had too many weapons for them, leading by 12, and the game far from over with 6.5 to play. But every time the Sixers have threatened to make a run, the Pistons have come up with some key plays. As we mentioned, Dumars with his career high tonight with 26 points. He's had a couple of 35-point gamers against the Celtics in the playoffs in back-to-back years. Barkley to shoot a pair. Missed the second. Barkley has 22. 101-90.
Pistons need 6 baskets, Fred, to win this game.
All right, I'll mark it down. That's 113 points. You're usually right on those. Good ball movement. Benny Johnson free for the shot. Rattles it home. VJ with 17. There's 1. They need 5 more, according to the Wilson Gospel. 13-point Piston lead, their largest. Robinson muscles in for the shot and rolls it in. He's in an excellent ball game with 22.
Playing great. You have to hit him down low if you can. Try and take those legs away from him. He's using those long strides and muscles to get inside.
Robinson 11 of 16 shooting. That's how productive he's been. Edwards on the fall away was given a shove on the hip by Jaminski. And James will shoot a pair.
Yeah, Dumars may be the most improved Piston player, but maybe the biggest addition, or one of the biggest additions that the Pistons may have this year, will be James Edwards. What he gives you is, in the last 5 minutes, as we're seeing right now, somebody to get the ball to who's within 4 or 5 feet of the bucket that can get a shot off. It may or may not go in, but at least he gives you a high percentage opportunity.
Boy, did Jack McCloskey pick up a gem in the Phoenix Fire sale last year.
Oh, that was an unbelievable trade. I remember when Jack called me at home that night just to let me know that it was going through, and I was delirious.
Oh, he didn't ask you if you should make it?
This is stealing.
He didn't ask you if he should make it?
Seldom does. And it's worked out very well that way.
Edwards splits the pair.
That's probably the key to our success, but
letting you know after it's consummated.
That's right. If then.
Jaminski fires away. Long rebound to Mahorn. And a loose ball foul. Mahorn apparently pushed off to get it.
Yes, he did. That was a good call. That's one you just want your hand back because that one was going so far. Such a long rebound, it was unnecessary. That's 5 on Rick. 5 to go. Let's see if Chuck counters, and he does with John Sally,
who also has 5 fouls.
That's the advantage of big people. We haven't seen much of Bill Lambier here in the 4th quarter or the late 3rd.
Well, Edwards has been so productive offensively. Kept riding the hot hand.
That's a big substitution, though. It puts a lot of pressure on John Sally if he's going to be guarding Barkley. As we mentioned, Barkley would be the main target of the ball offensively.
This is, by the way, from the free throw line, are 19 of 30. That's a little over 60%, unlike them. 104-94. Edwards spots the open man on a bullet pass to Vinny. 5:10 to play and counting in the fourth quarter. Bad pass. Vinny telegraphed it. And either Robinson or Cheeks could have stolen it. Robinson came down with it.
Whatever you do, you have to get a shot off in the last 5 minutes.
Sixers looking to cut the gap to 8. Pick and roll, Jaminsky. Blocked by Sally. Jaminsky missed 2 follow-ups. Barkley was fouled, or was it Jaminsky who was fouled? Couldn't hear the whistle because of the crowd. They were in shock that Jaminsky couldn't get the layup. Jaminsky was fouled, so he will go to the line for 2. He's very good at the stripe. Isaiah Thomas will check back in. Ditto Dantley and Lambier. Rodman sits down. Dumars to get a break. And Sally goes back to the bench.
Well, Chuck wants to be sure they control the boards defensively, and also this gives them a couple of post-up players on the floor. You got AD who can score inside, and Edwards you can go with inside. Allows the Pistons to spread the floor a little bit and make the Sixers play a little one-on-one.
Tom, this Piston team is not terribly unlike the outstanding 76er teams of the early 80s. They had such an incredible bench. There's so many buttons for Billy Cunningham to push. 104-95. Jaminsky will try the second of 2 free throws when we come back. 4:48 to play. Pistons trying to hang on here in Philadelphia. Well, the Pistons will be back home. In fact, tonight they'll fly home on their round ball 1 and then play the Hawks tomorrow night. Hawks are at home against Indiana tonight. We'll have tomorrow's affair at 7:30 live from the Palace on Pass. Then the Pistons head for the road for 6 games. Boston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Houston, and Charlotte. We'll have 3 of those games for you on Pass. As we'll have the Pistons and Spurs, Pistons and Suns, and then their first trip to the new Charlotte Coliseum on the 22nd of November.
Mike Stravinsky and the line shooting 2.
Wings, by the way, will be in this building on Sunday. A 1 o'clock matinee affair exclusively on Pass, as Dave Strader and Mickey Redmond will be here for a 1 o'clock face-off, Wings and Flyers. In case you missed it today, Miroslav Preacher was given a 10-game suspension for the stick to the face of the game-winning goal by Murray Craven Friday night at Joe Louis Arena. I'll make a correction. It's Saturday, the game, not Sunday. Saturday at 1 o'clock here on Pass, Red Wings and Flyers. Here it's Pistons and 76ers in an 8-point ball game. Jaminsky with the second free throw has a dozen. Isaiah launches with Cheeks in his face. Barkley ripped it down.
They'll try and get the ball inside. They've got 14 fouls.
Robinson to the hole, missed the spinner. Edwards missed the one-arm rebound. Barkley. And he'll shoot 2. Philadelphia continues to hang in there. If you're Chuck Daly, you're fearful of the 76ers stealing one here, as the Pistons have sort of had command the last 2.5 quarters, but have not been able to put this club away.
See, Barkley just waits for Edwards to leave his feet. As soon as he does, just sort of leans into him. Good play by Charles. Big miss, though, by Barkley. Pistons, as I started to say, need to get the ball inside. They have 2 post-up players, 14 fouls, actually 5 team fouls on Philly. So every piece of contact can send them to the line for some free wins. And right now, they're just buying time with 4 minutes to go. That's short also.
Boy, Barkley with 2 misses. And it goes off Edwards. A big break for the 76ers, much to the chagrin of Chuck Daly.
That keeps them alive.
4:17 to play in a 104-96 ball game. Cheeks wanted it, didn't get it from Robinson. Robinson posting Dantley. Lambier cheats that way. Lambier again double team, and illegal defense on Detroit. Or no, offensive foul called by Nolan Fine. He gave an illegal defense signal, but it's an offensive foul on Philly.
It's a combination of illegal defense and using the arm to push him out of the way.
104-96 Pistons with possession.
It's a big basket right here.
Dumars leans inside, missed the shot. Jiminski with a rebound. 3-on-2 run for Philadelphia. That's Hawkins to the hole. One of the few transition hoops that the Sixers have been able to pull off tonight. 104-98. We got a ball game on our hands. 6-point lead. 3:35 to play.
Dumars went to the hole. Everybody else took off.
Isaiah double team, swings it around. Lambier to Dumars. Dantley wide open. Ball fake. Shot. Good. Adrian Dantley with a clutch hoop. He has 23. 8-point game now. 3:15 and counting. Good pass inside by Cheeks and Robinson. Jiminski wasn't expecting it. 3-on-2. Isaiah down the lane. Dumps to Dumars for the layup. 28 for Joey D. Back up to a 10-point lead just like that.
No
Inside
foul.
3 minutes to go.
Pistons can't foul. They want to keep the clock moving right now. They can beat you from outside.
Cheeks with a fake. Lambier stepped up. Blocked the shot. Cheeks hit it. He's fouled by Lambier. That was a heck of a shot by Mo Cheeks. He'll look for his 13th point. 4th foul on Lambier. Watch it.
Excellent move. As we mentioned, you want to stay away from the foul in this situation. Just a little bit of contact that time from Lambier. Just don't want him to get any free ones. And that's a big one. That cuts it to... Oh, nice. Could have cut it to 6 there.
Cheeks with a miss, so the Sixers have missed 3 straight at the line, and the Pistons nearly lost the rebound.
8-point lead with 2.5 to go. You want to make sure you use a lot of clock here before you get the shot off.
Which they will. Dumars around Cheeks, dumps to Edwards for the dunk.
That's the penetration of Dumars. Normally he stays out on the wing. Again, that was maybe the old Dumars.
That time, Hawkins was on Isaiah, and Cheeks had to check Dumars. Hawkins for 3. Barkley took it away from 3 Pistons. Lays it in. They had to give the shot. Didn't want to give up a 3-point play. Barkley has 26.
That's unbelievable. You've got a 7'1" guy, a 6'11" guy, and somehow Charles Barkley comes away with that rebound. That tells you something about the strength of that man.
Chuck Daly calls a timeout. Wants to map out a good shot here. His team leading by 8.
8-point lead. If they just protect the ball and shoot with 1 or 2 seconds left on the clock, they can win this without making another basket. Well, they have 4 of the 6 we asked about.
Good portion of the crowd content that this thing is in the Pistons win column. They're filing for the exit gates. But I think they're going to see an improved team here in Philadelphia this year. Charles Barkley went, I think, too far on the limb. In fact, he probably broke it by predicting that the Sixers would win 55 games this year. I mean, that's a little unrealistic, but a team that did not make the playoffs last year, won something like 34 games. They could realistically win 42, 43 games, maybe more.
Well, keep in mind, playing in the East, this is a big advantage that Boston has. You play some of the Eastern teams that aren't quite as strong. Historically, New Jersey hasn't been very tough. Charlotte, of course, is not a tough team. Washington not looked on as one of the powers. So you can steal some games over there. In fact, if you play well against just those teams, you can win 14 or 15 ball games. Again, with a weighted schedule, that gives the Pistons a tougher time because they're playing the Central. Boston's playing the East. And there you get a chance to see it. There's Barkley coming up between the 2 threes with that rebound.
Boy, all the myths that Barkley's knees would not be able to take the pounding certainly have been disproven. Charlotte, with 4 minutes left in their game with the Clippers, getting close to their first ever victory. They lead by 8. Again, Marty Adler will have any finals that we can pass along to you after the ball game. And stay with us. We will try our best to get Joe Dumars as our guest after the ball game. Dantley to trigger it. This is with 18 seconds to shoot, and Isaiah dribbles it off his shoe. Cheeks hustling it up the floor. They have to hurry. 2 minutes to play. 8-point game. Still not over. Hawkins checked by Dumars. Joey fell down. Jiminski covered by Lambier. Barkley low post for an easy two. He put Mahorn on his hip. 110-104. Pistons still have to be careful. 1:45 to go. Robinson double teaming. Broken easily by the Isaiah pass to Mahorn. They'll milk the shot clock. Dumars kicks it back out to Isaiah. 7 on the shot clock. Dantley with a good fake. Stripped by Cheeks. AD got it back. Puts it up. No, Jiminski lost the rebound. Foul Lambier.
Couldn't have shot the ball.
They didn't have to. It was actually stolen by Philadelphia and retrieved back by Detroit, which reset the shot clock.
Personal foul.
As a result, the clock is stopped with 1:25 to go, and Jiminski will shoot 2. He can cut it to 4.
Mike Jiminski shooting
When
2.
Jiminski knocked it away, they reset the shot clock.
Jiminski hasn't missed one all year.
He's 5 for 5 tonight. 76ers are just laid in the weeds here, trying to nip at the Pistons' heels. 110-106.
This game is turned on 2 turnovers. Isaiah had one go off his foot, and in this last shot attempt. So be careful.
Dumars fouled by Hawkins, and that was a rookie mistake.
Yeah, bad play that time by Hersey.
Came about 18 feet from the bucket. Dumars was just starting at that point to make some penetration. So it gives Dumars an excellent free thrower. 2 attempts. And a 4-point game with 1:17 to play.
Just playing a little offense-defense right now. Dennis Rodman coming into the game for Adrian Dantley.
Dumars coolly sinks the first.
I would assume the Sixers would come down and go for a 2-point shot. With Barkley, they have as much of a chance at 3 points on a layup as most teams do shooting threes.
Dumars doesn't even hit the rim on either attempt. He has 30 points. 112-106 Detroit. 1:10 to play at the Spectrum. Sixers are going to have to hurry. Hawkins denied the shot by Dumars. Robinson working against Rodman. Dennis, good D. Dump off pass to Cheeks. Ball was blocked. Pulled down by Lambier. Credit Mahorn with the defense. Dumars has it now. The Pistons can go to work on that clock. Inside a minute to play in Philly. 6-point Detroit lead. They have not trailed since the first quarter. 2-man game. Dumars and Lambier. 4 on the shot clock. Isaiah misfired. Rebound Rodman. Kicks it back out. That could do it.
That's Worm on the offensive glass again, Fred, to win the ball game.
Well, you said 112 points would do it. And the Pistons lead at 112-106. 25 seconds to play in the game. Rodman inside for 2. That'll do it. Rodman has 6, and the Pistons lead by 8. Barkley for a 3-point bomb is perfect. 31 for Charles Barkley. Barkley with a knockaway nearly off Mahorn.
Got to be careful in these situations. You got to always watch an inbound pass late in the game. Of course, the Pistons know a little bit about that and usually protect the ball very well.
You wouldn't be talking about Boston a couple of years ago, would you?
Oh, I think you have to be careful in every situation
right.
late in the game because people are scrambling defensively. And you take the ball, if you're at all casual with it, people will make runs at passing lanes that they don't make earlier in the game.
Well, it's almost a kamikaze type defense where people are just giving up their bodies trying to somehow come up with a deflection like that.
That's a big
steal.
Excuse me, Fred. This is a big win for the Pistons. They had, as you mentioned in the open, had to prove something this week because of the competition they were going to be facing here. And now the Hawks tomorrow, who are playing very, very well, will probably go 3-0 themselves tonight and are not having those problems that everyone anticipated as far as the distribution of the ball. And that stacks up to be kind of a classic tomorrow at the Palace.
Well, this would or will be, assuming the Pistons hang on here, Chuck Daly's best ever start. He had never gone 2-0 as head coach of the Pistons. He's now 17 seconds away from being 3-0.
Well, we talked about how Philly kept coming back, and that's important. That's something you have to learn about your team. How will they react when things aren't going well? And I think Jimmy Lynam has to be very pleased with this club. They didn't quit at all at any time, and they had several opportunities to roll over. Conversely, Chuck Daly is probably very happy with what his club has done. He's punched a lot of buttons tonight, and he's gotten top performance from a couple of players on his bench. And Isaiah has not been the factor as far as scoring points. He's helped as far as distributing the ball, but it's been other people stepping forward, and we talked about that in the preseason, that this year I think you'll see a lot of heroes.
The Pistons call timeout.
Pistons have called a timeout themselves here. So we'll stay away for another 2 minutes. 114-109 the score. 76ers led by 4 in the first quarter. And after the first 12 minutes led it 30-29. But the Pistons with a 33-24 advantage in the second quarter. Led at halftime by 8. Enjoyed a 10-point bulge after 3. And really have never seriously been threatened until about a minute ago when the Sixers cut it to 4. The 2 clutch free throws by Joe Dumars on a rookie foul by Hersey Hawkins, and then the Rodman layup, putting them up by 8. Since then, Barkley has hit the 3-pointer.
Joe has been there all night long, Fred. Started out, if you look at the scoring, he had 8 points in the first quarter, 5 points in the second quarter, came back with another 11 points in the third, and then 6 big ones here in the fourth. So Chuck Daly's been able to call his number with consistency and confidence all night.
Well, if we do get to talk to Joe after the ball game, I really would be interested in hearing his thoughts on him looking to score, because we talked about his diligence in shooting the ball in the offseason, 500, 600 shots a day. But it's one thing to work on the mechanics, but it's another matter to look and want to shoot the ball. And he obviously is looking for it. He was outstanding in the preseason, shooting over 60%, and has continued here in the regular campaign. Bob Thornton is off the Philadelphia bench for the first time tonight. He'll try and bother the inbound pass of Dantley.
They want to take off the easy pass defensively, make the Pistons lob it over the defense, and go for an interception that way. Whoa.
Dantley floats it to Lambier. Dumars to an open Mahorn, cutting to the bucket. Good hustle by Hawkins to knock it away. 11 seconds to play. Ticker tape parade tomorrow in Charlotte, perhaps. They win their first. Didn't take them long to get it either. Beat the LA Clippers at the Charlotte Coliseum. So Dick Harder in the win column, and that's good to see.
Been a big night for Dave Hoffman.
All right, a reminder, we'll have all the scores. We'll get an update on the Indiana-Atlanta game, who would imagine is near ending. Isaiah will shoot a pair here with 10 seconds to play. Rodman comes back out for defensive purposes. Dantley sits down. AD's been solid tonight with 23 points.
That'll be a fun year for everybody on pass, I think, Fred.
Well, you know, the Red Wings are going to get their act together pretty soon, with Klima back and Probert perhaps nearing a return.
Oh, no question. You know, you really can't see that club having a prolonged slump because they're always playing people in the Norris division. And as long as you have St. Louis's and Minnesota's and Chicago's and things like that, they'll be okay. So people are worried about them right now, but I think they'll be fine. I can't see them doing anything but winning that division.
And don't forget about Big Ten basketball on pass this winter. Michigan picked by many to threaten for a national title. Michigan State will be vastly improved as well. Cliff Robinson misfires with 2 seconds to play. 116-109 is our score. 76ers came in with 2 successive games of over 120 points, and the Pistons laid some defense on them tonight. 116-109, the final score. The Pistons very diligent tonight in their work habits, and they come away with a 7-point victory. We'll be back with some final thoughts, and we'll go back to the studio for some thoughts from Marty Adler, and hopefully come back with Joe Dumars. Stay with us. Pistons basketball coming your way on tap.